I named this engine. The men had been working on the new engine for a long time. The other engines kept asking. We don't know. It's a secret, was always the reply. Everyone just calls him number 7. At last, Peter Sam could contain himself no longer. He asked the thing controller. The thing controller smiled. He teased. Came a chorus of voices. Ivo Hugh, the railway's chief engineer, was going to do the naming. Even he didn't know the engine's name. Protested Skarloey. Laughed Mr. Hugh. Said Sir Handel. He added. Decided Rheneas. The engines didn't know, but Rheneas's idea was, they thought, the best answer. On the great day, a special train was to pick up the thing controller, his guests, and Mr. Hugh and bring them to the bottom station for the ceremony. Skarloey, as the oldest engine, was going to pull it. The day was sunny. Cathy and Lizzie came early to the shed. First they cleaned Skarloey, and then they polished Peter Sam. Skarloey whistled cheerfully as he went up the line, and by then all the other engines looked just as smart as he did. Skarloey passed the big house where the thing controller lived and went as far as the middle station. There he ran round the train and pulled it back downhill. He stopped at the big house, and when the thing controller and his guests were on the train, he stopped again near the cottage where Mr. Hugh lived. Skarloey had just restarted when, with a squealing noise, something dashed past his front wheels. He stopped quickly. Demanded the fireman, jumping from the cab. In the long grass beside the line lay a large mother pig, and frisking around her were 7 pink piglets. Clearly Skarloey could go no further until they were safely caught. But they didn't want to be caught. Fretted Skarloey. The thing controller, Mr. Hugh, and even some of the guests joined in the pig chase until at last all the animals had been captured and put carefully back into the field. At the bottom station, a large crowd had gathered. All the engines except Skarloey were there, and number 7, with his name covered, simmered quietly. The minutes ticked slowly by. The manager looked at his watch. Rheneas whispered to Duke. Suggested Duncan, but was firmly hushed by the others. At last, they heard a whistle in the distance. A little later, Skarloey puffed thankfully into the station. Mr. Hughes said, and he told them about it. He went on. He pulled away the curtain. He turned to the thing controller. He said, and all the little engines whistled loudly in acclamation.